Hey, welcome to Cheaper Jeeper TV, the show that helps you get the most for your money so that you get the most for your Jeep. In this week's episode, we're going to talk about the front windshield defrost hack.
Yes. Winter is coming, and soon we'll have to start worrying about the defrosting of our windshields. But on the Wrangler, I was experiencing a bit of an issue. Let me explain. These visuals will be a simulation, as when I addressed this issue, I wasn't yet filming for Cheaper Jeeper TV. The defrosting was only occurring in the center of my windshield, and I would experience a buildup of frost on the outer edges. This wasn't what I was expecting at all, seeing that the defrost vents went from the outer edge of the windshield on the driver's side to the outer edge of the windshield on the passenger side. Let's imagine, if you will, that the dashed line represents the front windshield vents. Imagine, if you will, that the heat is generated below the vents and then a fan is turned on to blow the air up. And you would imagine all the air would be evenly distributed through the vent holes. If this were the case, you would expect to have an even distribution of defrosting as illustrated in this image, not what we are actually getting as illustrated in this image. A heat distribution, as illustrated in this diagram, would explain the defrost pattern that we observe. Almost all of the heat, as it appears, is taking the path of least resistance and going straight up the middle vents. But what would explain this undesired pattern? Clearly, something isn't engineered or installed correctly to cause this problem. Time to go to the Google. By doing a Google search, Wrangler Windshield Defrost issue, you'll see there are a number of threads on the issue that involve the JL as well as the JK. Could it be I found another Jeep thing? Let's have a look at a couple threads. Yep, this one's showing somebody posting pictures of their frosty windshield. Whoa, this thread is 32 pages long. It must be a real problem. There's an image showing where the heat's coming out and where it's not. Here's somebody with a Wrangler JK who printed on their 3D printer a baffle to direct the flow of air from their vents, as unlike the JL, their vents don't go all the way across the dash. Here's a similar baffle fashioned from a PVC pipe. This person used a piece of metal that he taped down and then put a groove in the metal. This is a great solution, using a socket holder that is 1/2 inch to fit into the holes. Here's what it looks like in the dash. These plugs are available at Home Depot only in 1/2 inch size, so they're too small. This person says use 5/8, and you can get them on Amazon. I'll put a link to these in the description. Here's somebody showing the defrost pattern on his Rubicon JL. There's somebody with the plastic plugs commenting on how happy they are with that. And now let's have a look at how I decided to attack the issue. Well, I was going for something a little clean looking, so I got some aluminum flat stock about 1 inch, and I painted it black with some stove paint. I drilled a few small holes in it and then secured it to the central vents with the intention of allowing some heat to come up through the small holes, but diverting a lot of it towards the sides to defrost the windshield in front of the driver and the passenger. I stand corrected, as it's 3/4 inch stock, 1/8 inch thick, and there's the stove paint I used. Those are the fasteners that I used to secure it to the vent, and these fasteners needed to be shortened in order to fit. And then I had to use a shallow screwdriver because the windshield would be in the way. As you turn the fastener, the bracket moves closer and closer to the top to hold the aluminum stock secure. Plus about an inch has to be taken off the fastener or it won't fit. Using a fastener like this could be a little tricky because if you lose that piece, it's gone forever. I actually used forceps to hold on to that piece when I had to unscrew it for an adjustment. If you don't want to use something like this, you could always use a zip tie. But at the end of the day, what I made looks pretty good, but how does it work? Well, let's take a look. Well, there's still defrosting occurring at the center, but now we see some at the sides that we didn't notice before. It appears that my fix is not defrosting the part of the windshield in front of the driver and the passenger fast enough. It appears that the force of the heat coming up through the center of the hack is allowing it to come up through the middle still, but it is also forcing some of the heat to go out towards the sides, which is good. But these parts here in the middle of the windshield in front of the driver and the passenger are not defrosting quick enough. Although eventually the whole windshield defrosted, I wasn't happy with the uneven defrost rate. I think what I'm going to do is shorten the length of the middle bar to allow some of the heat between the edge and the middle to come up the windshield. So although my hack didn't completely solve the issue, it helps for now, but I do plan to shorten that bar to disperse that heat a little more evenly, but you could use any of the suggestions on the forums. In fact, is there a hack that you use that worked better? Feel free to share it with us, and I'll make sure I include those suggestions in the article on the website associated with this video. You'll also find what we share in this week's tip segment of importance, so stick around. Now for some cheaper Jeeper tips. For this week's tip, I would just like to suggest, as noted in one of the last posts in the defrost issue thread, one of the members found that while he had his dash apart for some other warranty work, they found that there was some obstruction to the defrost system. They corrected it and he has a perfectly working defrost system. So perhaps before you embark on a hack, you may want to pursue having this looked at under warranty. And now for subscribers' tips. Hey Cheaper Jeeper TV, I've been using a product to repel water from my windshield. Although I'm happy with its water dispersing properties, I sometimes think it causes the outside of my windshield to fog up in the morning. Have you used a similar product? I wonder if your viewers are happy with a particular product. Signed, Randy. Hey Randy, thanks for contributing that comment at the end of the Wash a Jeep video. I've been thinking the same thing about some of these products and their claims to repel ice or to assist in the easy removal of ice. The jury's still out on that as far as I'm concerned. I've read all kinds of reviews, but perhaps some of our viewers can make suggestions in the comments section below. And here's a subscriber tip from last week's episode. Hey Cheaper Jeeper TV, for OEM parts in the US, you can't beat eastcoastmoparts.com. Signed, David. Hey David, thank you so much for your suggestion in the comments section of our DIY air filter replacement video. I'd love to hear from any other of our viewers who have money-saving tips to share with the members of our Cheaper Jeeper TV community. Feel free to leave them in the comments section below any video. Thank you very much. Hey, well that's it for this week's episode of Cheaper Jeeper TV. We hope that you found it interesting. And if you did, remember, subscribe, click like, and share the video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. I'm Dino for Cheaper Jeeper TV, the show that helps you get the most for your money so that you get the most for your Jeep. Till the next time, be well, stay safe, take care.